going on, World Wide Web? Today I'm going to be trying to make some enclosed ecosystems in jars. Got all these jars here that are all kind of different shapes and sizes. And at the same time, I'm gonna run through a couple kind of like stories that I thought were kind of cool. That kind of got me out of a, I don't know, that were just kind of different. I'm not really a woodsy person, really, you know? TBH. I'm more of an indoor kind of person, which I'm sure you'll get the vibe of real quick if you haven't already. I don't know. We'll see. I'm just kind of fucking winging this. I just wanted to share some shit while I do this. Let's see. First, what should we start with? We'll start with this little guy. So from what I understand about the whole ecosphere thing is, well, there's a TikTok video where this girl did an awesome tutorial, and she's pretty much like 25% soil, 50% water, 25% air. And the idea is you collect, a bunch of soil, a bunch of plants, bunch of just kind of random shit, put it in here, you seal it and leave it in there for years, and it can create its own kind of like contained ecosystem, where the water will condense on top, then fall, you have little creatures living in there, and it's really cool. I tried this like a year ago and it failed. I put too much dirt in it, so I'm not gonna make that mistake again. And to look for kind of more lively parts of the pond, this part, everything kind of looks dead right now because it's winter. I'm hoping the fact that it's winter doesn't fuck me. But this part kind of looks a little more lively than everything else, but we'll see. And so I have some tools here, and yeah, we'll just kind of get to it. I don't know if I'm really gonna be able to fucking multitask and tell a story well while fucking dealing with all this shit and mud everywhere and stuff, but I'll give it a shot, because why not? And it's kind of a cool story. It's weird. It makes me look really weird, and yeah, you might be like, wow, that guy's just really fucking weird, and that's okay. That's okay. So, but yeah, it's an interesting kind of thing nonetheless. So we got some of these bad boys, and we have a shovel. All right, so start of my story. I'm really hyping up this story. It's not that good of a story. It's barely a story. It's just something that happened. Oh God. This is gonna be rough. Okay, so I saw this TikTok like fucking like 3 years ago or so. And this dude, he was talking about how he was walking through his neighborhood, and there was this woman, and she was doing her like lawn. She was like watering her, like the grass on her lawn. And he's walking by, and he talks about, he's like, oh, like, he was like feeling really good, and he like had this urge as she was kind of spraying her like flowers and all this stuff with the hose. As he was walking by, he had this urge to be like, spray me. And he noticed that like desire to say it, but then like, all these kind of thoughts kind of popped in his head, where he's like, oh, like, what if she thinks I'm weird, or doesn't want to do that, or I'm a stranger or whatever. And so he ends up not doing it, And so he just kind of makes this short little TikTok video about that. And I don't know, that kind of idea, kind of ever since I've seen that video, not that I thought anything of it when I originally watched it, but that kind of idea always kind of stuck with me, right? Where it's like that initial kind of like intuition we have, like that's like a fucking kid. Like that's what a kid would do. A kid would run up and say, "Hey, spray me." Like they wouldn't fucking second guess it or overthink it or whatever. They would just fucking follow their intuition, right? And so it's just been kind of fascinating to me that somewhere along the way, I think like we've lost that, or at least I have, in a lot of ways. And so there have been some points. This is going to be way messier than I anticipated or am prepared for. Oh my God. All right. So there have been some points in my life where I think I've constantly done this, right? To where I've constantly not listened to that intuition, or I mean, I never listen to the intuition, right? But I don't listen to the intuition so much that I don't even get a sense of the intuition, right? Where it's like, my version would be, I'm walking on the sidewalk and maybe that intuition is there somewhere down deep, right? Of like, oh, spray me. But like, I don't even get that anymore, right? Or I used to not really get that. So that's a whole nother kind of rejection of the intuition to where it doesn't even come. And so that definitely very much used to be me, for sure. But I've been much better, not only about noticing when I have that kind of initial kind of hunch or intuition or not desire, but that impulse, like that initial impulse. I've been getting better at just kind of realizing, when it comes and arises and noticing it. That's the thing. It's fucking noticing it. That's the hard part. Because I think it's like, oh, that'd be fun to do the spray me thing, but then you just don't do it because it's just like another thought that comes and goes. But fucking noticing it and being like, oh shit, like maybe that's what I really want to do in this moment. That's fucking important. And so, this is gonna take forever with me fucking yapping. But this is good. This is called green shit in this mud, which you definitely can't see, but trust me. So anyway, I've started like noticing that initial impulse or intuition or whatever you want to call it. And one day, this is probably a couple years ago at this point, I feel like I'm like turned away from camera, kind of weird. I feel like the camera should be over there. Maybe I should move it over there. I'm on a couch and I'm drinking some water. And fucking, like, I don't know if you're like me and you just kind of have like, random thoughts that you have throughout the day, whatever. Like, not 99% of them are just fucking random ass shit that you just kind of like let them go and it's whatever. You don't even notice them really. Anyway, so I'm sitting on the couch, I'm drinking some water, and I get this like, the best way I can describe it is like a fleeting thought. And this fleeting thought was, you should just pour this water on your head. And literally, like, I had this fleeting thought, and I was like, I didn't even notice it at first. I had like 3 other thoughts following before I was like, whoa, back up. And I went back to that thought. I was like, whoa, that was like, it was less a thought and more like an impulse. It was like, it didn't feel like premeditated. It just felt like, oh, I wanted to pour this water on my head. Fucking full cup of water. I'm on a couch. I'm like fully clothed, obviously. But I sit there and I'm like struggling with myself because I'm like, do I follow this? Because, you know, I know of this kind of idea of a TikTok video and all this shit. I'm like, do I follow this intuition? And I'm like, part of me wants to fucking honor this intuition, but then the other part of me is like, dude, I'm not gonna fucking pour a bunch of water on my head just to fucking prove some fucking point or like whatever, and I'm gonna get all fucking wet. And I'm gonna fucking get the couch all wet, and it's gonna be a mess, and like that's just ridiculous, right? But then I was like, something was like, like I don't know. I was fighting the battle, kind of in my head, and then I just like fucking instead of like thinking and coming to a decision or whatever, like, oh, I'm going to do this. I just acted. And I poured this whole fucking thing of water on my head, like this whole cup of water, like with ice and shit, and it fucking like got like, I don't know. I got like fucking I got like chills down my back right now, but it felt fucking amazing. It just felt amazing. Like, I know that sounds fucking ridiculous. I know it sounds ridiculous. But just the cold water, just randomly, it felt good. And it was almost like a shock. It was like you're jumping into a pool, right? And obviously this is all fucking ridiculous, right? I'm obviously got water all over the place. Obviously I look like a total fucking psychopath pouring water on my fucking head randomly. But I fucking stand by it. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck how crazy it looks, because what I did there, again, it wasn't like I made the choice to do it. I just acted on something that I just wanted to do without thinking about it. Like it wasn't really a thought that came to my head. It was more just like an action of like, if I weren't thinking at all, like if I were a fucking 5-year-old, I just would have done it, right? And so my theory anyway is that these kind of impulses and like these kind of intuitions, like they're all part of us every day, and we unknowingly reject kind of the things that we want to do in pursuit of being what is an adult, or what we believe an adult to be. And really all of that stuff in reality was all conditioned to us, obviously. At the end of the day, it's my belief that we're still just little kids. Like, there's nothing that has changed. We've just been conditioned over and over and over, and we think we know more, when in reality, I think we actually know a lot less. And so that was fucking interesting. And it was like my first experience with that, whereas like I just followed my impulse. You know what's cool about it? I followed my impulse despite anything that would make quote unquote traditional like sense within the society we live in. Like I followed my impulse despite it maybe fucking up the couch. It will cause me a bunch of time to clean. Oh, now I'll have to change clothes. Like, this is all a waste of time. It's all, and like anything societal, it's like your time is precious, right? Like, you have to, you want to save time so you can rest, so you can go to your job, so you can make money, so you can do this and that. And so anything that like, that's why if you spill a drink or something, it's like, oh fuck, now I gotta wash this thing. It feels feels like a total suck, a bunch of effort. It's like all this effort that has been wasted, when that effort could have gone to other things. But when I prioritized the impulse, I said, no, that impulse, because here's my theory. I think that impulse is really who we are. Like, I think that impulse, I think me acting and saying, oh, I want to like fucking feel that water on my head. Like, I think that's really me. That's my theory anyway. And I think when you put what's really you, that action above all the societal conditioned BS that we've been taught is important. Making money, making sure everything is clean and perfect and blah 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 blah. When we put ourselves above all that, you just get an amazing feeling. And yeah, I just felt awesome. I felt fucking awesome. Yeah, I had to fucking change clothes. It was a total quote unquote waste of time from a societal sense, but I felt fucking awesome to like follow through with that despite any of it. And I know I'm fucking yapping and I'm not fucking doing what I fucking came out here to do, but. And I know it's like, if there's any fucking quote unquote normal people watching this, I know it's really easy to be like, oh, that's just fucking stupid. Because I'll tell you, that was fucking me. That 100%. It's like, that's just fucking stupid. Like, not gonna fucking act like a kid for no fucking, it's stupid. Fucking try it. Fucking try it one time. If you're fucking anything, literally anything that does not move you forward in society in any way, from your ego's perspective, like in any way, indulge it and just see how you feel. Fucking, it could be you're fucking driving and you get an impulse to fucking go run and touch that random tree, and fucking you gotta stop the car, you gotta do all this shit. Fucking indulge that impulse. Just fucking try it, and you're gonna feel fucking stupid, but I'm telling you, fucking try it. And I have another example. Oh my God, this sucks. Okay, here we go. I think God, this sucks. Can you tell I'm really bad at multitasking and telling these fucking stories? I gotta get better at that. That's like a flaw for sure. I'm not good at multitasking. This is like a problem. I like woke up one day and, I didn't do like my normal routine. Like, I didn't shower, I didn't fucking like do all this kind of normal shit. I like wanted to run out real quick, and so I just kind of threw on a hoodie. I get in my car and I realize it's actually pretty hot. I'm like, shouldn't be wearing a hoodie right now. And so I'm like, oh, okay, well now I gotta go back inside, I gotta put a shirt on, then I gotta put, I gotta just like change and whatever. And I was like, I was gonna do that, I was ready to do that, that's what I would normally do, right? But then I had what I think is kind of like, just a little impulse of like, oh, I could just drive shirtless. I could just take the hoodie off and drive shirtless. And it's like, okay, so I fucking take the hoodie off, I drive shirtless. And whatever I was like, I know how stupid this sounds, but like, I was driving shirtless. This was in Los Angeles. I was driving around shirtless, and like, I just felt really good. Because a part of me might be like, because there's a part of me that wouldn't do that because maybe it's like kind of embarrassing. There's no reason for me to be doing it. I'm not like going to the beach or anything. Like, I'm just fucking driving around shirtless. Somebody might judge me, trying to think I'm like fucking just weird or trying to show off some shit, or I don't know. Like, oh, this guy's driving shirtless. Who the fuck does he think he is, right? But despite any of that, I was like, I was like, oh, I just fucking drive around, just take the hoodie off, and that would be easiest. And so I'm driving around, and the feeling, like whatever my little errand was or whatever, it felt like so inconsequential. Like, I just didn't even do it. And I was like, I just got this like feeling of just like, I just want to drive around. Like, I don't need a destination. And so I started driving around, and holy fuck, dude, like I started listening to music. I fucking love music so much. I'll fucking dance and just go crazy in the fucking car, even all by my fucking self, doesn't matter. But I got to be in the right mood for it, you know. Um and um and so for whatever reason, you know, it almost felt like, you know, the times when you do drive shirtless, like, I mean, for any men watching, if anyone is watching, uh, any time in your life when you are driving shirtless, or even like, say, in a bikini or whatever it is, um, like you're usually in. At least for me, it was like you're driving from the beach, or you're like, I have a lot of good memories of like being with friends and like fucking whenever you're driving shirtless, there's some kind of recreational thing that you're doing, and it's just easier not to put your shirt back on while you're driving. And like there's this feeling of like the leather against your skin, and like kind of like just the vibe of it. And for whatever reason, when I was driving that day, like all of that came to me, like all that feeling just came to me. And I was fucking jamming out, like fucking jamming out to fucking songs that I've heard a million times before, but holy fucking shit, it just hit differently. Like I was fucking rocking out sounds so lame. But I was fucking jamming the fucking like Misery Business by Paramore, obviously a fucking banger, but for whatever reason, it fucking hit me much harder that day. And I fucking just loved it. And I remember, and you know, another thing too that I've kind of struggled with is like, I kind of like that state, that me being like fucking free and jamming the fucking music. Like, I think I'm, I view it as like, this is gonna sound kind of stupid, but I view it as kind of like almost sacred. Like, I don't, like, I'll give you an example. I'll do that when I'm driving, but if I pull up to a stoplight and like I know there's somebody that might see me, I will not do that, and I'll stop fucking moving and dancing all crazy and whatever. Just because, you know, I don't want to be judged or whatever. And if I were judged doing that, I'm sure that would very much hurt me, whatever. And so I'm fucking in the middle of this fucking, like, I'm fucking going crazy. And Sugar We're Going Down is playing. And I pull up to this stoplight, and I purposely kind of like position my car to where no other cars can really see me. And so I can continue just fucking jamming. I got no shirt on for no fucking reason, but I'm just feeling just fucking incredible. And I'm fucking going hard. It's like my own fucking personal concert. I'm fucking drumming, going fucking nuts. And I see out of the corner of my eye this guy, he's like kind of waving me down. And I kind of slow down a little bit what I'm doing, or I'm kind of still jamming, whatever. But he's like, I can see out of the corner of my eye, he's waving me down from the lane further over, the lane I didn't plan for nobody to be seeing me. And I'm like, I don't want to look, right? Because this person could be recording me, they could be making fun of me, they could be doing fucking any number of things that could fucking really like hurt my feelings or whatever. Because again, it's just like a vulnerable thing for me. And so I'm fucking jamming, I'm fucking going hard, whatever. And I see him waving, he's waving, I don't look at him. I see him fucking waving. Don't look at him. And then he's waving so hard, I have to look. So I finally look over, and this dude just was like fucking like, yeah, like I can't do it right now because I got mud all over me. But you know, it's like yeah, and like shit like that. And you know, just fucking great fucking vibes from that dude. But you know the real shitty thing? Oh, this is like very vulnerable for me to even fucking say. Like, oh god, it's like, oh shit. I don't even want to say it because it's something I'm just very ashamed of and like, whatever. Um, just something that really sucks. Just shows, how much hatred of myself actually exists. But instead of fucking continuing to like jam out super hard and like whatever, like I am just kind of awkward and like I'm just kind of like, ah, yeah, like whatever. And here I was kind of just expressing myself, like what I consider to be probably like the truest form of me, of just that fucking movement and whatever. And I come across somebody that doesn't judge it, but actively fucking like connects with it and like loves it. And I would be lying if a part of me didn't think like, oh, there must be something wrong with that guy. Like that, like if he's fucking vibing with me, then there's something wrong with him, right? And so, which is just fucking insane to say, and like it's just so stupid, obviously. But yeah, instead of it being, and then from there, I was just so, everything changed and my entire energy shifted and I was just like so disappointed in myself and like really beat myself up for that. I just fucking like drove home and it just really sucked. For me to kind of like, I don't know, I was just like rejecting myself in the way, and not that I did anything like crazy. I didn't react to him in some negative way. Like I didn't look at him weird or anything like that. But and I'm sure he didn't even notice it. But my reaction wasn't as, I didn't stay in that fucking state. I wasn't like, I didn't see him fucking like cheering me on. I was like, yeah, man, and like kept going and was psyched on it. Like there was a part of me that, I don't know. I think there's a part of me that views anybody cheering me on in that state as like, I don't know. There's as like, how do I fucking explain this? Like if you judge me, then you're correct. Like there's a part of me that believes that. If the dude was judging me instead, then you're correct. And yeah, that would really really hurt my feelings. And but I think you're above me. But then if the person that really fucking connects with it and loves it, I think that person, there's a part of me that believes that person is like below me. And so I just felt kind of awkward. And yeah, it's just, I know this sounds fucking stupid. And that's how that story ends. I know that story kind of has a sad ending, whatever, but it ended up being fucking amazing because it ended up really kind of showing me like, fuck, dude, like obviously that's how I view myself, right? That's my own fucking beliefs about how I feel about my true nature that I projected onto that guy, that I couldn't even celebrate him celebrating me. Like that's so fucking sad. But it was good. It was good that it happened because it fucking made me realize, it made me really realize that. Which was good. But anyway, all is that to say, what was so cool was just that little, and I know it doesn't, I'm not probably explaining it the best way, but that little fucking impulse of like, oh, let's just drive without a shirt. Like I've never driven out without a shirt in LA. That was my first time ever. But it was just, like, it doesn't, like there's a lot of social kind of risks with that, being seen as weird, being filmed and put on TikTok, whatever it is. and not huge risks, but tiny risks. Like it's not in my ego's best interest to do that. But I was like, oh, let's just do it. I followed that impulse, and oh my god, just the feeling, like it almost feels, at least like to me, like that your true essence, your true being. It's like, oh fuck, like it gets. This is how it feels like for me. It's like it gets permission to come out, and it did on that trip, and then the way I reacted to the dude who really connected with it, that like reminded me like, no, like I feel like this about it. And so it put me right back into this kind of you know, this kind of your normal schedule, or your loop of what you do every day. It's like, no, you got to go back into there, right? Because that true self coming out, it's dangerous. Anyway, but following that impulse led to so much fucking fun. Even driving around without a destination, which is something, because I've lived my entire life so fucking goal oriented, so fucking outcome focused. Sorry, dealing with wolves. That driving around without a purpose, fucking could never do it. And then one time I had the impulse to like, let's just go left and just fucking drive. And I drove around for like fucking hours, and it felt so freeing and awesome. It just felt incredible to, and you know, it's what's so cool is you can't manufacture what I'm kind of talking about. Like if you were to watch this and be like, oh, okay, well, I'm just going to drive around aimlessly and I'll feel amazing. Like, no, because now your ego is telling you to do that so you get a particular outcome, so you feel good. Oh, I'm only doing this thing so I feel good. I'm only breaking my schedule and driving around aimlessly so I feel good. That's in service to the ego, not your true self, right? And so, or not who you really truly are. And so when you follow the impulse, it's more of like an exploration. It's like, oh, where will I end up? Where will I go? And in that, it happens to lead, at least in my experience, to just like total, like a feeling of peace and freeness. But you can't concoct it. You can't manufacture it. In fact, when I realized that worked, I would try to do it again, and I wouldn't be able to do it. I'd be like, oh fuck, I'm driving around aimlessly, and like I would still have kind of all this anxiety and shit, and wasting time, and like, because it wasn't honest, right? And so that's what's so cool is, like, in my opinion, kind of like our true essence or self or whatever. Like, it can really make the it's almost like a lie detector test. It's like it really shows you how you truly feel about yourself, and so that's just kind of cool. But yeah, driving around aimlessly, dude, I literally, the first time I did it, I fucking cried. I was on the highway and I fucking cried. I never allowed myself to just fucking drive around aimlessly. Every single minute of my day had to be in pursuit of some goal, no matter how small it was, some kind of productivity, and to just fucking say, no, Joe, like you can drive around aimlessly. That might be fun. Like you might stumble across, across something fun, or you might not at all, and then all of that's okay. But goddamn, man, it was moving to me, which I know sounds fucking ridiculous, but you know what's really funny too? I've had a decent amount of times like the ones that I'm describing, where it's like following this impulse leads to like this kind of freeness and this is funny, but like a common denominator is like, for at least for me, obviously, is not showering in the morning. Because that would be my routine. I would fucking shower in the morning. I would fucking go about my day, eat lunch, whatever. But for whatever reason, whenever I wouldn't shower in the morning, it it would like kind of break me out of that loop of repeating loop or whatever. And not all the time, obviously, but there have been many times that I had that experience where it's like, oh my God, I just feel so different today. I followed some of these impulses and I just feel amazing. I'm like not in my head. I'm not anxious. I like feel fucking like very kind of free. One of the first things is like, I happened not to shower that day because I didn't get put into that loop. And so when I didn't get put into the loop, I started to be more likely, I think, to kind of follow something outside of the box, something that's outside of my normal routine. So that's kind of a funny thing. So that's the moral of this story, is just don't shower. Okay, I got some moss here. Do some of this, a little more. You know, there's also, this is just kind of, dude, the weather is so fucking nice. Like, right now, it's fucking middle December, and God, it feels so nice. Really does. There's another story that is kind of relevant, but I don't know if I really want to tell that one because it's kind of embarrassing. That looks kind of good. Check it out. Kind of cool. Hopefully there's not too many fucking branches in there. Might be. Or little sticks. Might muddy up the water too much, but whatever. All right, I got my cork for transport, and we're just gonna cork that in. Okay, there we go. There we go. Cool, one done. Damn, that took a long time. Because I fucking yap without, I can't multitask, I'm sorry. Okay, I'll set that over there. I don't think I'm able to do all these today. I'm just not efficient like that. But I'm gonna take this glove off here. And you know, what's funny is I even get anxiety saying that. I even get anxiety being like, oh, I'm not gonna be able to do all of them. Like, oh my God. I'm not being efficient, right? I didn't use this trip. I wasn't efficient enough on this trip, so now I have to make two. Okay, here's all my crap. You know, I will say, as silly as it sounds, I'm starting to feel like stressed out, which is stupid. There's nothing to be stressed out right now. We're just in the woods, fucking making ecospheres for no reason. But I'm feeling like stressed. I think it's like my things are starting to be separated now. My backpack's all the way over there. I got my chair somewhere else, and like I'm starting to feel a little flustered. I don't want to like touch this camera with these gloves. Test, okay. You know, so I'm just vocalizing it. And we'll put this in frame, because why the fuck not? Ooh, there's some cool moss on that stick we could use. Okay, should I go get my fucking chair? Did I even use the chair last time? Didn't really even use it. Okay, what should we do next? Should we do the bigger one? So I'm starting to get stressed out now. Starting to get stressed out because I just thought about like doing the bigger one and like how am I gonna fucking get all this camera gear back, and it's gonna be really fucking heavy, and I got this fucking chair and like all this shit. So I know it sounds silly, but and like the sun's kind of going down, like, but this is where my mind goes. It's all just trying to protect me, though, of course. Of course. Oh, there's a bee. But yeah, and it feels good to vocalize it, you know? Because usually I just have these, or usually I wouldn't even be aware of the thoughts. I would just be having the feelings of just kind of starting to get stressed out. But when you vocalize it, and you can kind of fact check it a little bit, where it's like, no, it's okay. Like, my one glass bottle's right there, my chair's right there, my backpack's over there. Plenty of time with the sun. Should we do the big jar? We don't have to do the big jar. Like, it just kind of makes genuine. I know it sounds fucking lame, but it does just kind of genuinely make me feel better. Even though it sounds silly to be stressed out about it at all in the first place. I am. That just happens to me. Okay, fuck it. Fuck it. Fuck it. All right, we'll do the big one. Let's just fucking do it. But like the weight of it and all carrying, that's what is stressing me out, because now I got multiple things. Although water weighs a lot more than you expect. Luckily, this is much smaller than the one I had before. That was fucking so stupid. I did all this giant. That is fucking insane. I'll show it to you maybe later, but yeah, it's just interesting. Just the feeling that comes up when I think about the water. Maybe it's from the not a bad experience, but just it was fucking a lot of work to move that. It was like a giant orb of water, and it was like, it had no top. Had no top either. So it was like sloshing in this wheelbarrow all the way down here in the woods. It was fucking rough. So maybe that's where the fear is coming from, or maybe, I don't know. But it'll be fine. Because what's cool is there's some greenery here. So we can kind of just do the same thing we did before. Oh, shit. See, like, this is what stresses me out. It's like, oh, there's a shovel. See? You know, and see, I could have prevented that by just putting everything together. But sometimes I'm a little scattered. Okay, so this guy, looks so clean, doesn't it? Not for long. Woo! Woo hoo hoo. And I'm doing this very simply. I'm just pretty much like, maybe I'll try a little harder with this one, but like, I'm just kind of digging up the green parts in the mud and then putting some fucking moss in there, and like, I don't know. I kind of like tried a lot harder with the other one I made and it failed. So maybe I'm just approaching it with a bit more relaxed vibe this time. But like, it's kind of dead out here because it's winter. So this whole thing might be fucked anyway. So that might not even matter. All right. Okay. So I guess we'll just do the same thing that we did before. Oh my god. Oh my god. Ah! Okay, this wood is not very strong. I can't really get to where I want to go. Okay. Yeesh. Very happy I wore boots. That is... God, dude, this is just not going to end well. There we go. That's a good one, I think. There we go. I don't know how dangerous this stagnant water is. Like, probably pretty dangerous. I don't know. Maybe it's not. Oh, God. You know, probably all kinds of diseases and shit in here, right? I don't know. All right, is that enough mud? Ugh. Oh my God. Shit's like fucking quicksand. Dude, this is so awful. Okay. Oh shit, that just went in my face. That's not ideal. Ooh, that was a good scoop. That was a good scoop of green. Okay, I think that's good. I don't want to do too much of the dirt. And then there's some nice greenery right here, actually. I love this. This is really cool. Oh, this is awesome. Am I still in autofocus? Yes. Look at that. That's nice. Nice greenery here. Oh, fuck. I literally flipped it the wrong way. Shit. No. Ugh. Well, used to be nice greenery, I guess. Yeah. So, like, from what I understand is you want these roots. So if I go back into another story, I'm not gonna get anything done here. But I also just don't want to sit here in silence, so this video is just so goddamn boring. Oh shit, my lob is getting in mud. Fuck. I guess I gotta stand like this, like a fucking hunchback. I guess I can tell my embarrassing impulse story. Oh, it's just gonna take all my attention though, unfortunately. Yeah, dude. Not being able to multitask is a problem. I don't think I'm able to make these videos anymore, actually. Or, not that I ever really even started, but like, this is just not... I can't multitask, you know? I just fucking... That's why the hammock was better, because I could just fucking yap. You know what I realized I couldn't multitask? I realized I couldn't multitask. Well, I don't know if you guys know about the AIM era. AIM. But if I were ever trying to do something and somebody was talking to me at the same time through AIM, couldn't get it done. That's when I realized I can't fucking multitask. So I'm sorry. I'm sorry. So this is all the plants I have so far. After all that time, next to nothing, actually. Moss is really where it's at. Moss is like pretty relatively easy per cubic energy spent. You know. See, got some nice plantage and some of the roots. Just throw that in there, I guess. The thing that sucks about this is really how much I gotta bend fucking down. That is very annoying. I forgot about that part. All right, I guess I'll try my best to tell this story, but it's not gonna be that good actually because I'm fucking distracted. But, ooh, that was a good one. Look at all these fucking roots. That's nice. That's nice. That's what you want. That's what I hear. All right, so I was living in LA with fucking 4 other dudes. We all had a house. And, you know, what's interesting is I think the more you get to know yourself, the more obvious it is when you are in situations that just don't like jive with what you really want. Whereas before, when I didn't know myself that much, I was just like, oh, this is awesome. Yeah, these guys are great. Everything's cool. Let me try and tilt this camera down too, so we can actually see what's happening. Oh no, I locked it. Fuck, dude, I can't touch this camera with these fucking gloves. Ah, so annoying. There we go. Might be a little better. I don't know. So, at least for me, it's like started out in this living situation very, really thinking I was very happy. But like, sorry, there's like shooting or some shit. Why are people shooting? Stop shooting. But like, as time went on, dude, if I get shot in this video, that would really suck. I don't want that leaf in there. But as time went on, dude, shut the fuck up. I don't know if you can hear that shooting. It's like annoying to me. I don't know why. As time went on, I just like, I think you just, my point is, I keep fucking getting distracted, but the more time, or the more you know yourself, the less amount of time you want to spend in situations that just don't fucking vibe with, or just don't align with who you really are. And I actually live with these guys for 8 years. This is a good one. Look at that, motherfucker. Look at them roots. And it was actually really good in a lot of ways because we were all kind of like working and trying to make our way in this world and creative shit and being around people that do the same thing is cool. But like, goddamn, man. Gotta say, it's nice. It was nice to finally leave. But anyway, the only reason I bring that up is because it's part of the intro to this story of we're all getting ready to move out after 8 years. And so you want to talk about like, oh, this is a good one. You want to talk about like impulses. I was like, something about the energy of like moving out and like it all being done, like it just kind of makes you not give a fuck anymore. And it makes you, at least for me, it made me really start following my impulses more, despite what any of these dudes I live with thought. And so I kind of do things that I normally wouldn't do, like just kind of random shit, you know, like fucking like eating my lunch on the roof. Like we had this gorgeous like LA skyline view from our roof, and that was stupid. Why did I just do that? We didn't have a deck or anything, but I just would sit on the roof and fucking eat lunch because it looked kind of cool, or it looked really cool. And so just kind of like things, whereas normally, obviously, I'd like fucking eat at my desk or whatever. And so I just kind of do, and I wouldn't, maybe a part of me would do them to quote unquote, I don't know, like not be different, but like performatively, but there's definitely a part of me that also wouldn't do that performatively at all. And it would be genuine. But in trying to do a lot of these things, you kind of inadvertently start performing because you want to do them for some kind of end goal. So that's often a thing that would happen. But then sometimes I'd find myself just eating on the roof, and it'd be like fucking like just genuinely nice, because that's where I wanted to be and that's what I wanted to do. And so that's kind of like one small example of it. But and we had a pool too, and I would start fucking like, I would like follow my impulse of like jumping in the fucking pool, and like I would start like at night and like shit like that. And like there was one weekend where okay, I feel like I've planted enough in this area. Oh no, there's some moss. God damn, dude, there's like some fucking bug or some shit on my fucking neck collar. So there was one weekend, all my roommates were out of town, and I was in the shower, fucking like normal day, and before I got in the shower, I had, again, just like a subtle impulse, a subtle urge, a subtle little thing that like I wanted to act on. And that was bringing my Marshall speaker into the bathroom so I could fucking blast music, because it's kind of nice because no one was there, right? So, and you might be saying, oh, well, that's just kind of, people do that all the time, right? People bring their speakers in there, but not really for me, because this Marshall speaker in particular is kind of big, kind of clunky. So it kind of takes some effort to fucking move all the way in there. But it's like, hey, fucking, you know, if that's what little me wants, or if that's what my impulse is saying, we gotta fucking do it, or try to do it, indulge in it, you know, or try to indulge in it, because why not? And so I'm fucking jamming on in the shower, fucking Home Alone, whatever. And you know, I shampoo my hair, I condition my hair, do all this stuff, and I get another thought slash impulse, which is, and by this time I'm almost done showering, but my impulse is to go jump in my pool, which my pool, fucking spider on me, which my pool at this time is fucking freezing. Fuck. Guys, tell I'm not outdoorsy yet. Anyway, I'm in the shower, I do all this shit. I fucking do, you know, I'm almost done showering. And I get this urge to jump in the pool. And I'm like, fuck, dude. Like, I pretty much completely ignore it. I'm like, I do not want to fucking jump in my pool right now. I'm in this nice hot shower. The last thing I want to do right now is jump in a cold ass pool. So I ignore it. But then I'm like, fuck. I should do it. I should just follow my impulse. I should just fucking do it. And it starts to kind of like eat away at me a little bit in the shower. And I'm like fighting myself again. And I'm like, God damn it. Fuck, I really don't want to do it. But I end up doing it. And I end up I turn the shower off. I turn the shower off. I run out. I put on my boxers. And I fucking jump in the pool. And it felt fucking just fucking incredible being in that pool. The water didn't even feel cold. It just felt incredible. And so I just hung out in that pool a little bit. And again, kind of like what I was saying, like whatever the impulse is, it doesn't give a fuck about what's productive, what's not productive, what's a good use of time, a bad use of time, quote unquote, what's, you know, it just fucking acts, right? And so me following this is kind of silly, right? I just shampooed my hair. I just conditioned my hair as well. I'd have to redo all that, right? But I did it anyway, whatever, jumped in the pool. And so I'm in the pool and I fucking love it. It feels amazing. And oh God. I just really enjoy my experience in this pool. And I go back into the shower. I'm like, oh, that was incredible. I fucking re-shampoo my hair. I recondition my hair. And I'm fucking just jamming the music. And then I unfortunately get another thought. And my next thought was, oh man, that felt so amazing. You should go jump in the pool again. This time, do it naked. And I fucking have that thought, and I'm like, no. Definitely not doing that. Yeah, I'm technically home alone right now. But when you live with 4 other people, you really never know when somebody could come home, and then they come in, and fucking that's just awkward as fuck. And yeah, I don't know, just like that's just not gonna happen. And this could just be me being a little bitch, but like I am kind of like I've definitely had like, you know, the classic dream where you like go to school naked or like some shit like that, you know, where it's like so embarrassing, right? Where I know obviously it's fucking who cares, but like it feels like an intense thing, right? Whereas like if I were to go fucking walk around naked at some fucking like Hollywood Boulevard, that'd be fucking, regardless of if it logically doesn't fucking matter, obviously, it would fucking feel scary to me. And so, you know, living with all these dudes, many of which were, you know, a bit judgmental without even realizing it. Doing that with the possibility of, you know, it's just exposing myself. Like it makes me feel very vulnerable. Where, yeah, I don't know. Like I would feel like I have kind of like a persona that I put on, especially around them, to where it's very much, you know, I'm super fucking work focused, and like I'm not in my feelings at all with them. Like they're just kind of fucking, I don't know. I don't think they really get it. They don't really, I don't know how to describe it. I'm just not really myself around them. And so for me, if I were found in that position, it would like kill all my persona. If that makes any sense at all. Probably doesn't, but all you need to know is it would put me in a very vulnerable position. So anyway, I have that. Oh, it's actually kind of a nice place to sit for a second. So I have that. I have that like thought or whatever, and I just fucking, again, it's kind of a similar thing where it's like, I just let that fucking thought go, where it's like, nah, just like another thought. As I have a million thoughts a day, you know. It's just like letting that, not even paying attention to it, not even realizing it. But then I'm like, I back up. I'm like, whoa. Like, what if I did do that? And I like, again, kind of gotten this like back and forth with myself. This is a good one. I kind of gotten this back and forth with myself where part of me really wants to honor all these impulses and this intuition and who I really am and all this stuff. But then the other part of me is just like so scared of doing it, because there's a reason I don't follow the intuition and impulses in the first place, right? It's because at some point I got the message that all those things were not valuable or wanted or accepted or desired. And so there's a reason I just don't follow them without thinking about it. Like I'm sure I did when I was a kid. But it's like my ego is on the other side where it's like, whoa, 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 whoa. Like, no, do not do that. That is like a death. It feels like a death sentence. You know, fucking running out in the pool. I have to run through the entire house. There's a potential for huge danger to my ego there, for them to see me in kind of such a vulnerable state. And so I'm in this like thought battle one part of me wants to honor that impulse and just fucking do it. And the other part of me is like, no fucking way. That's terrifying. Do not do that. And what's interesting is that I don't think either one kind of won out necessarily. But I was listening to this song. And this song, I don't remember even what it was, but I just remember it was so good. It was like so, I've listened to like fucking full volume. Again, I'm in the shower. I'd already shampooed and conditioned my hair again at that point. So that's another thing where it's like, dude, what are you fucking doing? You're not gonna go jump in the pool again. Are we fucking stupid? But I'm listening to this song and a climax comes on and it's like, fuck, like part of me just wanted to fucking act, but I couldn't act. It was like, like it was just like these two parts of my mind just fucking like ramming against each other. And I think it like gets to the point where it's like just as much an ego thing to do it. Like if you do it, but it's only to fulfill that ego part of you that wants to be the person that can just follow your impulses, not give a fuck what anybody thinks. Like that's just ego too. So like regardless of whether or not you happen to follow the impulse, it's almost like more your intention behind doing it. And so I think it was like both ego parts of me were fighting. One ego part was really scared of being able to be seen in a vulnerable way where it's like, I don't have my persona anymore and I could be made fun of or whatever. But then the other part was like an ego way of like, you gotta follow your impulses. You gotta do this. You gotta fucking do it. Because what if you don't? Like, if you don't, then what, are you just gonna be a little scaredy cat? You're never gonna be able to just fucking be your true self. Like, and I think really what it was is like, those were the two parts of my mind that were fighting. And I think like if I were to guess, that initial impulse, like that initial like spark of the idea, that was like my quote unquote kind of who I really am. Everything else that comes after that, the ego trying to deal with that, I think is imaginary. It's not actually me. It's just me trying to protect me. And anyway, so I'm like going back and forth, like, fuck, should I do it, should I not? Kind of ego versus ego, in my opinion. And there's this part of the song where this climax fucking happens, and it sounds so sick and like so amped, and I fucking can't, I like almost want to do it, but I can't do it. And I'm like going back and forth, and then like another song comes on, and it's even fucking better. My battery just died, so I had to replace that. Oops. Or not oops, I mean, it's not really an oops thing. But it interrupted my story. Okay, so the music is going, and I fucking can't do it, and then another song comes on, and this song is it like feels even more intense, and like the last chorus of this song comes on, and like I can't even fucking like really describe it, but it was just like, oh my God, it was just like an action. It was just like, like I literally, this is sound fucking retarded. Sorry, I can't use that word anymore. This is gonna sound fucking stupid, but dude, oh my God, I can't imagine like fucking normal person watching this being like, dude, this fucking nutcase. It's fine. But whatever. I'm fucking in the shower, fucking music blaring. It hits the chorus, it's fucking perfect. And like I got this ego going back and forth in my fucking mind, like, do it, don't do it, do it. You gotta honor the impulse, don't honor the impulse. And I fucking like scream and run out of the shower. I'm like, totally fucking naked. And I run through the house and I fucking jump in the pool. And I am not really gonna be able to describe this. The feeling as I was like, this is something I would never do, by the way. Like, you don't, like, if anybody knows me, you know I wouldn't do this. Like, if you know the persona me, right? This is not something I would ever do. If you know the real me, if you're one of the few people in my life that have actually known the real me, then yeah, you would say I would do it. But most people know the persona me. And so when I was fucking waiting, like when I was fucking in this pool, like fucking, what do you call that? God damn it. When you're fucking, you're not swimming, like treading water. When I was treading water in this pool, totally naked, totally vulnerable. Like, I've got fucking, you know, we have a pool person that comes. We have people, like a fucking lawn person, like that comes back there. Like at any point, like I could be kind of seen, whatever. And I know it doesn't sound like a big deal, or like somebody could come home. Like, I know it doesn't sound like a big deal if you're not in it, but fuck, dude, like when you're actually in it, at least for me, it felt like very intense. And dude, when I was fucking in that fucking pool, I felt, sorry, something just like, I thought I saw something. I felt incredible. I felt literally like I had just like fucking jumped timelines. Like I was in another dimension. Like I was like, because it's just something I would never fucking do. It's just something so out of my fucking persona or anything like that. It's something out of my routine. It's something, there's no benefit to me doing it, right? Societally or whatever. And I just felt literally like I was in another fucking timeline. That's what it felt like. It felt like I shouldn't even be here. Like, this is wild. Like, it was just like I got out of my head. It was just fucking like intense. That's the best way I can describe it. And then, and the water, why I say water, the water felt incredible. Like the water was so cold. I wasn't cold. It just felt amazing. And I'm coming from a fucking hot shower too. And I felt incredible. But then all the anxiety started to come. I was like, oh my God, like I'm like thinking about roommates' schedules and like what day it is and like when the pool person comes and like all of this stuff. And it slowly, all the like the safety mechanisms of the mind slowly started to kind of come back. But regardless of that, it was just, it felt so, I was like, I felt like free. It was just, I know it's gonna sound ridiculous, but it felt fucking just unreal. I never had any experience like it. But it was just, and then so when I went back, when I finally, I was probably in there for like 15 minutes. But when I finally went back into the shower, I noticed something really interesting. I had inadvertently left the shower running that entire time. And that is so not like me. Like, I am fucking type A. Like, I fucking always double check things, and I'm very meticulous and analytical and like all these kinds of things where it's like I would never leave. And in fact, the first time I did jump in the pool, like earlier in this same story, I did turn the water off. Like, I put on my boxers, whatever. But that's what was so interesting, where it's like, that's how I know. I just acted. I didn't think. And I just acted without any of the fucking, like, oh, we got to make sure this is safe. We have to do that. We have to make sure XYZ. We have to kind of protect ourselves. Like, I just acted. It was just an action. It was like, if you're a fucking child, a child goes and runs and grabs a toy. It doesn't think about like, oh, what if somebody else wants that toy? What if I shouldn't get that toy? What if my parents don't want me to have that toy? Like, all these things. It just acts. And then obviously that can be met with friction, because those actions don't align with what we societally deem as important. But holy fuck, dude, the fact that water was running, was so out of anything I would normally do. Like that shows me it was an action. I was just acting. I wasn't picking the ego side of me that wanted me to follow the impulse. I wasn't picking the ego side of me that was scared to follow the impulse. I was just picking me. I was just acting. And that was kind of cool. And so kind of my point in all of this is that what I really believe is that we all day to day, just like a child would, have all these different impulses and things that we want to do and want to explore. Maybe we go, I don't know, do fucking anything random or exciting that doesn't really aid us in productivity. And I think throughout our day, we have so many of these different kinds of impulses, but we've just gotten so used to pushing them down that many of us, we don't even realize we have them at all, and it's just we don't even hear them anymore. And or some of us hear them and are just we get anxiety around them. But whatever it is, we don't follow them. And at least in my experience, like you almost become like a robot of yourself, like a shell of who you really are. And that, in my opinion, because I was very very depressed for a lot of those years, and I would have my only highs of feeling were like after I would do kind of big projects or whatever, and they would be received well or go well, whatever. But then it would kind of be right back down to this baseline. And I think a lot of this depression and kind of anxiety stuff that is just so like it's such a big epidemic right now in our world is just not following who we truly are, not honoring our intuition, because our intuition, in my opinion, that's who we really are. And when you fucking beat it down, it's just like if you were a kid and every impulse the kid had, or every intuition, or every time it wanted to draw something or play on that thing or invent something or do anything, it got pushed down. I said, no, that's stupid. Like, don't do that. You should be working on your schoolwork. Don't you want to be successful in life so you can get a good job and so you can make money? Like, push all that bullshit away and focus on that. Like, you need to make A's, like whatever it is. That child would be sad at that, right? It's like who it really is, expressing who it really is being rejected. And so I think we end up doing that same thing to ourselves, and we're not even realizing it because we just slowly, the patterns of rejection they get reinforced year after year after year after year after teachers and parents reinforcing, and society reinforcing all this bullshit. And so at least for me, running out and fucking jumping in that pool, it's so funny how this like fucking makes me emotional. It's so funny. But it went against all of that, right? It wasn't to be productive. It wasn't to get somewhere in my career. It wasn't to make any money. It wasn't to do all the things that I spend every single day believing I have to do, or to slowly make progress in, no matter how small the step, to be productive, whatever. It was totally against that. It was honoring a part of me that wanted to do something just because I wanted to do it, and that's it. And I don't know, I felt like I reconnected with that part of myself, which is why it felt so fucking like out of body, and it felt so fucking weird, because I've probably spent fucking, vast majority of my life was probably not doing that. And so reconnecting with that was a very like fucking special, powerful moment. But like I said before, it can't be manufactured, right? Which is just so cool, where it's like I can't recreate that moment. I can't do it again, because that's the ego wanting to do it. It's the ego wanting that feeling. But our true, in my opinion, I don't like, I don't, the word true self or whatever, but like our true selves it feels how it feels. It's like the truth. It can't be manipulated by ego. So I don't know. It was just, yeah. So that's kind of my embarrassing story about the whole impulse thing. But we are making some good progress here, actually. Got a decent amount of plants through all my yapping. I would love to get a little more moss. So let's see if we can find some moss. Ooh, we could maybe get some moss off this tree, maybe. I don't want any of this bark, though. Ooh, there's some good moss over here. All right, let's flip this camera around. Oh, shit. I just fucking touched this tripod way too much, but whatever. Okay. Dude, we are looking. Look at this. Look at that. That's pretty cool. And now, should we walk along this thing? Probably not. Ah. Trying to fill this guy up here without there's being too much mud in here. But I can't, it's hard to go deeper. Ugh. Maybe I'll try over here. Just to go deeper. Ah! There we go. There we go. Let's go. Ugh. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, fuck. Look at that. Oh, my God. This thing's fucking heavy. Fuck. I know I got weak arms. I know. I know. Okay. Might be a little too much water. But that's pretty good. Happy with that. I think that is going to do it for the jars. I can't do everything else. I think it would just be too crazy and take too much time. The sun's going down. What do you think? It's a pretty good ratio, 25, 50, 25. I think that should be pretty damn good. I like that. I like that a lot. Okay, cool. Okay, now let's get back to civilization. You know, I do just want to kind of sit out here for a moment. It is really nice. Maybe I'll just sit somewhere and chat and gather everything and then just hang out for a moment before we bring everything back. Okay, here we go. Here's our situation right now. Looks like the sun is set. This is like really fucking nice though, honestly. Like, look at that. It's so nice. The little chair that I didn't use, but maybe I'll use it right now. You know? It's like kind of fucking peaceful out here. Fucking weather's fucking incredible. You know, the one thing with LA was that when every fucking day is 70, you really just don't appreciate it. At least for me, I just don't appreciate it. It's just simple as that. I'm just gonna take a second here. I don't know if this is performative or not. Maybe it is. But I just want to take a fucking second here. I just want to take a second here. Just fucking chill for a second, you know? Feels fucking cool, dude. It feels just like... Dude, I don't know. I just like whatever I'm feeling right now. Feels just nice. Dude, I gotta fix my relationship with bugs. Fucking hate bugs. But again, that's all fucking learned, you know? And instead of, what's funny, like, instead of just being able to like sit here and like totally relax just for a second, I'm like constantly thinking like, oh man, I gotta bring all this shit back. How am I gonna do it without everything getting all fucking dirty and shit? And like, it's gonna be heavy with all this water and a fucking camera, the camera gear and this chair, and like thinking into the future, you know? But it's good, man. You know, that's what protected me. It's what protected the intuition. My intuition. That's what protected it from getting hurt in the past, was anticipating what will happen next. And what's really funny is it's what protected it from getting hurt from me. Right? Because like, what's my mind doing right now? Instead of just peacefully sitting in the woods, it's like, oh, it's like I just said, I'm preparing for how I'm going to move all this shit. Well, why is it doing that? Well, let's say I don't prepare for how to move it. Let's say I fucking pick all this shit up, and because I don't prepare for it, shit just, I'm walking back toward my house, and shit, one of the things spills. I'm going to be so fucking pissed at myself, right? So in reality, what I'm doing right now is just me trying to protect myself, from that hurt and shit I would experience if something were to go wrong, if the jar were to touch my arm, I get pond muddy water all over my hand, or I drop the camera, whatever it is, like that anger I would have toward myself. If I just think and prepare and make sure everything's correct in the box, then I'll be safe from myself. And so the preparing is necessary, but it's all just a protection from me. Whereas if I knew for a fact, even if I dropped the shit, even if pond water spilled all over me, even if I fucking dropped the camera on the way up, whatever it is, if I knew that I would still be safe with myself regardless of any of that, maybe I wouldn't have to think so much right now about preparing that stuff. And maybe I could just sit in the woods for 5 minutes, and it would just happen to be a little bit more peaceful, because that's just what our like default state is, you know? And so when I have these thoughts about, oh man, I gotta prepare, not that it's a huge negative thought, I do have to prepare, but it's the fact that it feels a little looming. And so really all that is a scared child. It's a child that does need to prepare, because I will get angry and upset if I fuck it up. So it's like, it's just preparing so that doesn't happen. But I think if that child knows and can feel, it's It's not knows. It can feel that it won't happen. Can feel that it will be loved unconditionally, regardless of any mistake that happens on the way back to the house or anything going wrong. Then there's nothing to prepare for anymore. There's no reason to prepare, or there's no reason to fearfully try to prepare. You can prepare healthily, right? I can sit here for 5 minutes and then be, oh, okay, cool, time to prepare for this. But when I was thinking about it before, it was more from a place of fear. It's like, I must prepare here or else. And not in an intense way, but it's subtle. And so there's no need to do that anymore if there's no fear, if you're not scared of yourself in some capacity. The healthy version would be, oh, we can sit and enjoy, and then we'll go and prepare the things. And it's not out of any type of fear. It's just we want it to be prepared. So it'll be a little easier for us when we walk up. And if we spill, that's okay. It doesn't matter. It doesn't mean anything about us. It doesn't mean that we're a mess or that we are less than in any way. We just spilled. We're human, you know? But I think in the past, especially like if you're a child and you fucking spill a fucking drink, like, God, dude, the parents, at least my parents, would go fucking ballistic. Like, oh my God, end of the world, I gotta clean up all this shit. Like, yeah, I get it. You know, as an adult, obviously, you know why life is stressful, money, bills, time is valuable, kind of like all the things we talked about. But God, to a kid, it's like, this is my care. This is the person who keeps me alive. This is the person who gives me all my love. I just want to make them happy. And the anger that they're met with when you make a little mistake as a child, man, it sticks with you, and it leads to, in my opinion, protect to your reflection, or to what you think you need to act how you think you need to act to protect yourself from ever feeling that way again, from ever spilling the thing. So now you overthink, now you over prepare to make sure that doesn't happen again. But really, it's no longer the parent, it's now yourself. All my opinions. God, dude, I can't over fucking state how big these squirrels, you probably can't even hear it, but how big these squirrels sound in the woods. It fucking sounds like a fucking human being, or like a fucking wolf or some shit, like something with some fucking meat. But dude, it just sounds loud. And then you look over, it's just a little squirrel, but they're just running through all this shit, making all this noise. It sounds loud. But dude, that's why fucking we have anxiety and shit like that, man. That helped my ancestors survive. It's not all bad, you know. All right, y'all. Peace. Okay, so here's a day later. Here's kind of what they're looking like. It's kind of cool. All these glass walls will probably be covered by sludge soon. But for now, kind of looks cool. Sweet.